Alright, this is the first fight versus Ancient SG. Jiwoon Harry. He is the stronghold player in this guild here. First team, go with my very trusty SC Roz and ML Angie for double dual attacker, and versus the with a Robbie, of course, extra security. At this point, if you're watching my Guild War videos in chronology, you'll see that I use this team a lot now. I love it a lot. It's bruisery, it's got style, it's decently fast. Well, not as fast as the Cleave comp, of course, but it's sort of secure. You will see that in this skill war that I do screw up with this comp. I got outplayed in terms of just gear in general, and I'll commentate on that in a bit. Not this fight specifically, but in another one. I put a portrait on this A-Robbie, just trying to hope that I could kill it out really quick. You see that my A-Robbie here has 18,000 HP. I was going for a different build in this war. A less tankier one with more attack and higher crit damage. I was thinking that it might be better. At the point of this video recording, I actually reverted back to my more tankier build. I actually prefer that more. The less tankier build meant that the Aureus on Roz also took more damage as well. So I ended up not really liking it. The payoff in terms of the damage dealt, loss of HP with the amount of attack I was able to get her, it didn't really pay off. So I reverted it back. Although I don't blame anything in terms of what happened later, as you guys will see, on the new build itself. But regardless, it was still pretty bad. I thought it would do a lot more damage, to be honest, but it didn't.
Should we get started?
Yeah, I couldn't believe this, to be honest. I was going for the the kill, couldn't get any counter or any defense breaks. It was super bad. Thought that missed twice.
I'll deal with this.
Yeah, I just didn't do enough damage. Not enough that that merited this new build.
Don't tell me what to do.
All right.
Roz is fantastic. He has a self heal. So like that heal is pretty big. Puts up a defense buff as well.
I hope you're ready.
Out of my way.
There you go. That's the defense break I was looking for. Speed attack buff from Emma Angelica. Both fantastic heroes. Again, if you guys haven't seen my showcase videos on them, I show my gear and some PvP gameplay, so you guys will kind of know how you should use them. I think they're good, very good heroes. Second one, I've done this so many times. I don't think I really need to commentate on it. SSB with a Rengar specialty drink on mine. Very OP. If the SSB ever returns and specialty drink also returns in terms of the limited artifact, definitely pull it. Very good. They're tried and tested. I mean, if SSB could remain relevant for a full entire year, she's definitely worth to pull for. And even though people have SSB counters or small gate created SSB counters, honestly, she's still worth it, just because like her S2 is just incredible. An attack skill that also does defense break, heavy damage, AoE when you don't need to do anything. That was that was my that was an alarm clock saying that I have a meeting coming up. This is a post-match voice recording, but when I was voice recording this, yeah, I was quote-unquote working. So yeah, don't usually let those kind of things slip up in terms of production quality, but yeah, this one, that's why there's so many voiceover commentaries lately. What's happening globally right now, if you're watching the video, you know what I'm talking about, but yeah, work from home situations, stuff like that. Yeah, there's not much to this. What's left over here, I ended up not opting for the S3. I like saving the S3 with the soul burn on SSB majority of the time. Maybe Chloe, it's beneficial from it as well because you can make her unhealable and unbuffable, so that even if she revives at 2 DPS, she wouldn't be able to set the revive buff on herself. So if you get into a point where you're kind of stuck, like in a stalemate, like if she's turn cycle too quick, let's say she's like 220 speed or whatever, and you weren't able to like provoke her and lock her down, then the next best thing is SSB's soul burn, ignoring the resistance. So right here is the best time to use it. So if she revived everyone else, it didn't really matter. She wouldn't be able to revive after again. She was on proof of valor too. I wanted to remove that death break just in case she was able to lap my SSB twice, so that I was able to kill her off. And she was, and I think she does revive actually, if I remember. Yeah. So yeah, that having that soul burn unbuffable, unhealable is very good. And that Kairon helped feed this. Even though I had a blind, that's why Rengar specialty drink is so OP. It still does a lot of damage. You saw the miss on the Chloe, but it's still the 2.3k on the drink proc, so it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I didn't want to do another buff. I just wanted to kill her off. Yeah, that's it for the stronghold fight. On to the next one. So this is the second fight. So Sick, maybe. I'm gonna give you a shout out here. He definitely bested me. Your Kairon was super fast, hits super hard. It's very impressive. My Roz is at 236 speed. You beat him with a big chunk, at least 250 speed, Kairon. And honestly, I int. So any spoilers? Just watch how this happens. Again, my A-Robbie was not in my tanky build. I didn't even have immunity on her, which is really bad. Oh, I swapped the build. I swapped this build. Yeah. I swapped it midway. So from the stronghold fight versus June Harry, I swapped it out, but I didn't have immunity, which is really bad. The blind chance on this. It wasn't that good. I should have actually, in retrospect, I should have did the S2 on the Kairon right there. I was kind of trying to prevent him from doing the S3 too quick until I got a heal, but I realized something a bit too late, that his turn cycling was too quick, and his MLCC was able to crowd control me or provoke me away. So the turn cycling on that Kairon is really good. The basket proc like crazy as well.
All right. Let's do this.
Yeah, at this point, I still wanted to kill off the Charles. It's kind of like ingrained in my head, but I shouldn't have. And he resisted the death break. It was really tough. I was thinking that I would be able to just out-tank the Kairon, but with greater attack, it hit too hard, and he was too fast. So there wasn't anything I can do, and I couldn't strip that Charles. So I think this is like one of my very rare times that I lose my Akates as well. I lose my Roz here. I was not able to revive, so I had to keep going for that Charles. Definitely got bested of this one. I was pretty salty because like usually this comp is pretty safe, but I realized the flaw in this one is just that if the Kairon is insanely fast, it's too hard to sustain the damage. He was able to cycle his S3 here as well. The turn cooldown, although no Lexus proc, the eventuality was really bad. Oh, I see. It wasn't on a silence EE. Oof, that's tough. I actually didn't notice that on the first go. I think I was just getting yeah, like non-stop attacks. It was pretty harsh. The only thing that
I'll deal with this.
yeah, the Elbrus on the Charles was always a pretty big threat here, especially when Cecilia provoked. Yeah, regardless, it was a really good Kairon. I'd say about 250 speed, maybe even faster. 250 speed Alexa's basket. This turn cycling way too crazy. In retrospect, I should have just killed him. Regardless, I should have just went for him first with Roz and dual attacked through that.
Step back.
I just kept on thinking Charles is the highest priority. But if I killed off Kairon, put him into Immortal, even if he had S3'd let's say, I don't know, Roz or A Robbie, there's a possibility they could have survived early on. And if they couldn't, my A Robbie at least would be able to revive after killing the K-Ron. So in retrospect, the biggest mistake I did was one, underestimating the K-Ron. I think that's a big one. But the second thing was honestly, I went for Charles. I should have went for K-Ron. So I think it's a lesson learned for me. A fast K-Ron usually just kill him off quick. Yeah, so if you're watching this and you're like, you know, maybe looking for tips, I would recommend that. Yeah, it's always a fearful thing to put K-Ron into the Immortal too quick sometimes, depending on your comp. Because his S3 could kill and extend his Immortal, and depending on who you had left, it was too much to deal with. Yeah, at this point I still wasn't able to, I didn't want to give up, of course. I still thought I could be able to like handle this. But they cycled so quick. This was as close as I got, I think. And then yeah, I wasn't letting up here. I think he kills my Akates here if I remember correctly. Yeah, it makes more sense because, yeah. So here's the problem. I had to heal no matter what, but A Robbie has her own heal on the hit. So he Alexis path. Yeah, this is what happened. He Alexis, and then he kills my Akates. No damage mitigation. He has greater attack buff. And at this point he has skill null as well. So I was thinking, okay, kill off Charles still for some reason. Yeah, it's ingrained in my mind that you gotta kill off Charles, I should have broken the skill null on that K-Ron there. Yeah, K-Ron's damage was too much to deal with in this fight. But I'm pretty sure you guys are sick of hearing this. But just enjoy this. Yeah, the Aureus on that MLCC was good too. Very good, very solid team comp. Could have brought something else as well. But yeah, I definitely got outplayed. The A Robbie was doing work, no doubt. Especially the more counters she had, the better. But as soon as the K-Ron was able to generate his S3 back, it was over. I knew it. It was kind of like just in time. It was just how much time did I have left? The silence EE was very brutal as well. Like it could have been one counter, and I could have won potentially. Like kill off the MLCC quicker, you know. Just yeah. Regardless. And the blind chance was not good because I wouldn't be able to heal back as hard.
And never get back on your feet.
Yeah, look at ML. I have to keep like this whole portion in the recording because ML Robbie, honestly, she deserves some credit here. She 1v3'd pretty much for like at least the past 5 minutes. I didn't want to lose her. She's too good. But I was pretty at that moment. I was like, oh, you have to be kidding me. That was super salty. But yeah, ML Robbie, man, she can solo. I mean, she's so good, but yeah, too much. It's too much for her to handle. This one again, I haven't really seen a very good spec 10 counter because SSB exists. On a defense team, I mean, you can either be outcleaved or you just SSB. And this team, I don't think people would generally run a cleave. You got Ruel, like a full revive. So if you bring a cleave team, high risk. And if you don't kill the MLK, you're also dead. So the default is SSB. You hardly want to bring a regular healer bruiser comp into a spec 10 comp anyway. By the time you kill off Ruel and then MLK and then get to spec 10, so i.e. a Dark Corvus team, it's pretty. It takes a long time, and there's still a high likelihood that you would lose. Although I think potentially like a Crow healer and Dark Corvus would still be able to do this one. The damage output is not super high on this because no attack buff on the spec 10. If it was like a made Chloe spec 10 comp, I would like be half on bringing Dark Corvus comp. But regardless, it's not to knock on the player. I'm trying to run a Spec Tenny in my defense too. Can't really figure out one that's really successful, especially when facing higher end players. I don't think I've gotten a single win on it. I tried with Crow, tried with Emoken, tried with Charles and stuff like that. It didn't really work. But it could be just bad timing as well. Just face players that with more experience with fighting these comps as well. Not to say that she's bad on defense. I think Spec Tenny is fantastic at almost everything she does. Yeah, this one's actually pretty tanky too. I mean, 10,000 HP is not easy to get on her.
Let's start with something light.
I tried, so I kind of know. Probably has pretty decent defense as well. Yeah, this was a bit close. You know, all this talk about saying that, hey, you know, there's not a good Spec Tenny comp. This was pretty close. If I see Armin died, it would have been pretty bad. The heal block is really good on Emoken as usual. That's why I always save the soul burn on the SSB. Anyways, I got a draw on that one, but good job, dude. The very last fight, Singelica makes another appearance. Lost my SC Raws, otherwise I would have brought SC Raws for this one, to be honest. A bit more secure because you got damage mitigation. For this concept, I was thinking, okay, I bring a Reviver in ML Ravi. She's fairly tanky, and I lose my ML Angie here. It was a very fast team, faster than 200 speed. But the good thing is that my Spec Tenny here is unable to be hit until the second turn. So I was looking at this. I'm like, okay, I need to kill off Yufine. But I was going to hit the Kayron first. I don't even know what the concept was there, but I think I was more worried about killing the Yufine too quick. So like if I had S1 and she had been that squishy and died, then she would revive and I would still be able to do this. But if I went in with the S2, S3 on Yufine, then I wouldn't be able to revive my my ML Angelica. And now because ML Angelica is actually the lowest HP, it would have been a good target to bait the Kayron S3. This was difficult because honestly, I knew I would have lost S10 there. Again, going into Milgauss, I guess his name. I didn't know his speed tuning. But now with ML Angie, the Immortal buff up, it was way easier. The dual attack on ML Angie comes in handy. Now look at that amazingness. 2 turns on the 2-turn buff still, so that's 4 turn total on that ML Corey turn. And she was very squishy. I think she had about 16,000 HP, but she was still very squishy. I would have lost her here though, my ML Angie. I knew that going in. I kind of got outplayed in terms of the speed tuning on this one. But yeah, I mean, A-Robbie is able to go into 1v3 scenarios pretty well. There was a death break there, but A-Robbie self-heal really helps. Counterattack doesn't hurt my chances either.
I'll deal with
Here I had to revive up. Because of the turns that we already had, and Yufine had the lowest health, so it was easier to revive there. Yeah, so the ML Robbie, high rated hero, saved my butt. At least I saved her from my second fight, and didn't allow her to die. If she had died, it would have been over. I wouldn't know what I would do, to be honest. Probably Dark Corvus or something. Yeah, people are still running these SSB Charles comps. The comp I'm using, relatively safe. Relatively, I say that with a grain of salt because the RNG on this team is still very big. Depending how you deal with it, most people just deal with go with an Oxalots. Oxalots do well, and I think Yufine. It's relatively safe. You won't end up losing. But I don't have Oxalots or Ruel. DK strips me here. No, he doesn't. Perfect. Yeah, so yeah, it's fairly safe. at this point, because SSB has the attack buff and she was going next, it was just better to kill her off first. Charles versus Charles, it was a higher chance that I could win, and I still resisted that one, so that was good. That MLCC hit hard, definitely hit hard. It kind of threw me back a bit. She had an attack buff, of course, which helps her damage, but she was definitely built on crit damage. There was no way MLCC without crit damage would be able to do that chonk into my Yufine. Again, this is a race. That was kind of cool. And I stripped him, so no defense buff, no attack buff. And I switched targets to the Celestine on the what do you call it? Alina was very important. She's dead. And at least my Charles is pretty decently tanky, so I was able to kind of just sustain this one. Yeah, I didn't want to go for the S2 there. I just wanted to get a defense break and hopefully lap him. Anyways, that was this one. Alright, so yeah, that was Iggy versus Ancient SG. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.